Everybody, welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. We broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the prime time games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's several live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a look at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Chris Ruffolo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Dana Lane will sign it a little later. We got Big Al McMorty, Ron Zawacki, Wayne Scott to join us as well. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. Ruffolo, Mitch McMorty, Scott Zawacki Lane, then I will close this one out. 10-game card from the NBA. Huge card tonight from college hoops conference action, as you would expect this time of the year. 3 from the NHL, so let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can tune in the mornings here every day at the Pick Dogs YouTube channel and catch Chris on the morning shows, as well as his video series as well, and individual pick videos you'll find from Chris. I'll bring him in right now. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Just like you said, enjoying the big college basketball cards about to come tonight. We got another one to prep for tomorrow. Like you said, it's time of year, kind of what we signed up for.
Yeah, it has. And boy, this Kings team in free fall. But you know the odds. I mean, it's just they've had some short odds, and they're favored in this one, believe it or not. I was kind of scratching my head looking at some of their lines of late. That San Jose game, almost 300, minus 300, I think it was a few weeks ago. Even on this road trip, I thought the line was not. Was too short on them. But anyway, tonight Kings laying minus 116 on TNT, total of 6.
Yeah, Tony, this is the same sort of thing you were just talking about. The Kings getting priced like they're still the Kings of earlier this season that ran roughshod through the NHL. And even when they were struggling at home, which they have been basically the entire year, the saving grace was they can always go back out on the road where they've played their better hockey this season as it is. Well, at home, the Kings are 8, 9, and 6, so basically 8 and 15 at home. And now I think they started the year 11 and 0 on the road. They're now 14 and 4, so 14 and 10 away from home. They've lost 14 of their last 16 games, and in those 16 games, they're 1 and 8 in their last 9 on the road. So, to me, this is all about the price here. I can't get behind the Kings still laying juice. I got to take the Predators here at plus money. Until the Kings show me that they have a pulse. Got to keep going the other way, especially when we're getting, Tony, like you said, these short odds to fade them. So, give me the Preds here. Yeah,
I just can't understand again these odds on the Kings. It seems too short. I mean, I think this is a coach that's probably looking to get fired. We were talking yesterday. We looked at the coach at Ontario Reign. Marco Sturm is the coach at the AAA at the AHL. I wouldn't be surprised if he's named head coach pretty soon, especially if they drop another one here.
Yeah, you're kind of almost waiting for the other shoe to drop if you're the Kings, and it's just another loss. You kind of got to wonder if current coach is on borrowed time. There's still talent there, that's the thing, but it's just like I kind of questioned coming into the year if Cam Talbot was going to be a viable number one option for the Kings, and I think he's just starting to run out of gas a little bit.
Looking at this Nashville team now, granted, this isn't, Kings are having their struggles winning games. I mean, it's been really ugly here. Look at losing. Of course, there have been a lot of overtime losses in there as well, but this is a Nashville team that's still great shakes, either dropping 4 of their past 5.
No, they're not, but this is a team that always tends to really hover around that 500 level. Like, they never get too high or too low. They kind of just coast through as they win their games where they have to. And you look at their record, they're pretty much identical home and road pretty much this season. At home, 13 and 12. On the road, 13, 10 and 2. So if you combine the overtime and regulation losses, identical records home and away. But they've also won 3 straight in this head-to-head series, including a 2-1 win in LA a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, until I see signs of life from the Kings here, they're going to be on auto fade for me.
No, I can't argue that. Of course, we couldn't let Chris get off here without the college basketball because we're getting people in the chat room chiming in. Everybody looking at this Kentucky-Florida game.
I mean, for me personally, I don't know how you can go against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. I mean, this is an explosive Kentucky offense that seems to put up points in the 90s, 95s whenever they're at home, regardless of who's on the other side. I think Florida just had a huge point total against Georgia. I think they gave up 98 in that game against the Bulldogs. So, Florida winning some games here and there, but you take them out on the road, they do turn into a bit of a pumpkin. They gave up 103 to Ole Miss on the road, 85 to Tennessee. So, I gotta go with Kentucky.
You keep riding this New Mexico this train at home. Now at 11, I'm seeing some 10. I saw 10.5 somewhere. One of the sharp books in Vegas, one of the sharpest books in Vegas here, 10.5. Everybody else 11 here with this New Mexico train at home.
I can't go against it. I mean, the Lobos at home just look like an animal. I mean, this is a team that runs 4 deep. This might be the best Lobos team that Richard Pitino's had in his time there. And Boise State, they want to make this game ugly. They want to make it sort of more defensive style, slower paced. And I don't know if New Mexico's going to afford them that opportunity.
I'm going to ask Chris a tough question here. Can Army cover against Colgate? They held him at 37% shooting in the first meeting.
It doesn't feel. I mean, I think I said this about Colgate and Vermont, but Vermont's doing a better job of covering. It doesn't feel like the teams that have dominated these lower major conferences in past years, like your Colgates and your Vermonts, are as imposing as they've been in years past. But I think Colgate especially. I mean, Colgate I think they lost to. I can't remember. I don't think they played Lafayette yet.
Yeah.
Did they play Lafayette? I can't remember. But yeah, I can't get behind Army. What's their offense, like 350 something?
Yeah, it's an ugly
efficiency. Yeah, so yeah, I can't get behind Army there. Unfortunately, I got to go Colgate.
Again, Colgate with the big points. All right, Chris here on Predators plus 102 here against the Kings. This one tonight, 7:30 Eastern time over on TNT. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. 10-game card from the NBA. Chris having a great NBA season, as you can see here. Also, lots of college hoops tonight. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I got a couple of 3-packs, one for college hoops, and I also got my hoops and hockey for NBA and NHL lovers. Also got a $19 college hoops play, my best bet on the board. But best value, hop on a long-term pass. You're going to get all those plays. I think it's cheaper than to buy the 3-day than to pick up each individual package today. So definitely make sure you check those out over at Pick Dogs Premium as we head into another loaded weekend of action.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Loaded weekend of action. Get on board with Chris. Remember, this long-term pass is great right now with all the sports overlapping, NBA, college hoops, NHL, of course, Super Bowl just a week and a half away. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Do that great success. We'll catch up with you next week. But, of course, we catch you over in the morning shows at Pick Dogs. You've got written work up there on the sites as well as your individual videos and your video series.
Yeah, doing a ton, Tony, right now. This is the time of year where everything kind of comes together. And like you said, whether it's the videos, whether it's the wraparound for the NHL lovers, for all the individual videos, the morning shows, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy time of year. But definitely tons of content for everybody to digest.
That's right, tons of content. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Chris drops these videos, you get them in real time, get the best numbers, get alerted for the live shows as they air. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's bring him in right now. Mitch, catch him over at Pick.com. Also the mornings here during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We've got college hoops here on the board tonight with Mitch. We'll bring him in here in just a second. We're ready to roll here on a Wednesday. Mitch, what's happening?
Oh, man, it is just that time of year. It is the loaded college hoops card after loaded college hoops card. And as the NHL and the NBA will be in their all-star breaks over the next 2 weeks or so, college hoops will just keep rolling right along. You know, that NBA all-star break, I believe it's February 20th is the game. So they take a pretty extended break for that thing.
Yeah.
So college hoops will be more than happy to pick up the pieces like they normally do.
Yeah, they will, and there's not a shortage of games, let me tell you right now. And, of course, we'll see if the Warriors will make up some of those postponements, too. Keep an eye on the schedule there. But tonight we go to a pretty competitive action with two teams that have been performing well in conference. That's UAB and North Texas. North Texas here laying 7, total 133.
Yeah, I think when we look at this particular game, what we see is, a North Texas team that is really defense first and defense second. So, sometimes when you get these point spreads like what we see here, it's actually a lot more points, worth a lot more than if it was a game where, it was a team that scored, 100 points a game. I think Chris left out in that Florida-Georgia game. That game actually went to overtime. So that's why it was a little higher scoring, and some of those other games did as well. But the thing is, like, when you look at, North Texas and, like, their last game, 63-66 against FAU, 68-66 SMU, 56-44, 60-59, 69-51 against a bad Temple team, 70-56 against Tulane, who plays no defense at all, right? So against the better teams, they're low-scoring, tight games, and I just think that this one kind of fits that same mold. While UAB's offensive numbers are pretty weak, North Texas's defensive numbers are off the chart. And when you look at North Texas' offense, 271st in the nation in shooting, that just simply doesn't get it done. UAB is held up against some pretty good competition. They scored 97, beat Memphis last time out, 97-88. So it's a natural letdown spot, but at the same time, it doesn't mean North Texas is going to beat you by double digits or, put up a big number on you. I just think this game is probably closer than the number inside 6 or 5, at best.
A tight battle there, UAB and North Texas. Although UAB has been pounded here recently on the road here to FAU, Arkansas State there in non-conference. They lost by 6 at Charlotte. I think that's probably may scare bettors with the UAB seeing some of those results on the road.
I'll tell you what, you look at Charlotte's homes, what they've done at home this season, and that's where the AAC goes to die, is in Charlotte. I mean, they've beaten absolutely everybody at home this season. They beat UAB. They beat North Texas 56-44 at home as well. So it is where the AAC goes to die. They beat they beat Tulsa. They beat FAU at home. It's like Charlotte is one of the best home teams in all of college basketball. They haven't lost at home since November. So I don't think there's any shame in losing to Charlotte on the road. I think that's also one of the great guarded secrets in college hoops this year, that Charlotte has been absolutely dominant at home. They're just killers, man. And the 49ers are just they're one of those teams that when they're good, and when they're bad, but they're bad more often than they're good. So they don't get the notoriety of some of the other teams, and they play in an area of the country where everyone says Duke, Carolina. I mean, you fly into Charlotte Airport, you pass by the shops on a connecting flight. Anyone that's ever flown American Airlines, they have all those shops in airports these days. There's no Charlotte jerseys available, man, or Charlotte shirts. They're all Duke in North Carolina, and and you go even further, it's Wake and NC State after that. So, Charlotte's a good creeper team. But of these two, I just think UAB will get it done. They've been solid all season long. They've played against good teams. It's not like they've played a terrible schedule either. They also can hit the offensive board. So I think even though they might not shoot as well, and even though North Texas has an edge on the defensive boards, UAB's offensive boards are actually really good. They're 52nd best in the nation, and so it's like certainly no problem there. So even though North Texas is decent on the boards, UAB is like next level on the boards. So I expect that to be a factor in this one as well.
Well, let's speak about some games beginning here. Bottom of the hour, Northwestern Purdue. Is a revenge spot here. We've seen this one open 13, now up to 14. I see a 14.5 in a few books right now as well.
I never like to bet on teams that are that bad at guarding the three against teams that are in the top 5 in shooting percentage from beyond the arc at home in a revenge spot. This one could be a big number.
St. John's, Xavier, a 2-point favorite. They've dropped some games at home this year.
They have. Sean Miller against Rick Pitino, two guys that have been there, done that. But I think Xavier's a little bit of a disappointing team this season. Boy, St. John's, they seem to get involved in a lot of close games, but don't necessarily win the close games. I don't know. I could see Xavier pulling it off, but it just seems that it's too popular of a pick for my taste.
Now moving up from the point and a half. Alabama and Georgia. Now Alabama now up to 6.5 here on the road facing Georgia.
Well, Mike White's done a real nice job at Georgia, and he's got some young guys that can shoot threes. I mean, I don't think you've ever heard me say Mike White's done a nice job anywhere, but he actually has here at Georgia. Georgia's one of those those teams where you watch them on TV and they always seem like they're missing a few of the lights in the stadium, right? And that stadium it always looks a little darker than most of the other stadiums. But Alabama is a quietly really, really good team, but this is not an easy spot. We saw Georgia down by 21 against Florida, reel them in and get it to overtime just on Saturday. So this is not going to be a cakewalk for Alabama, that's for sure.
A competitive one in the Big 12 top of the hour here. The Invader from the AAC now in the Big 12, Central Florida getting 3.5 at home to Baylor.
I tell you, Baylor's been our team, right, for a long time. Been one of those teams, and they always are loaded with talent. They always have an embarrassment of riches. Which 5 guys should we have on the court? It's like that's the biggest problem that they have. But this year's Baylor team, when they run cold, boy, do they run cold. And they started running cold at Kansas State, where this team who's also a top 5 3-point shooting team in the nation, they couldn't hit a free throw to save their life. They have a guy named like Miss A or something on the team. His name is Miss or something, and he misses like all his free throws. So they've been doing the hack-a-shack on him, and it's been costing him games because in the Big 12, you got to hit your free throws. We're at that point in the season where it's like they used to say in the NCAA tournament, 85% of the games are won at the line, and I think we're starting to see that. And Baylor, in that Kansas State game, they let it get away from them, at the line, and also just their overall shooting percentage was so poor, and we've seen the carryover on that. I got to say, UCF has done a real nice job in stepping up in conference. I think, we saw them in football. Oh, they're not ready to play in the Big 12. It was just a down year for them in football. Kind of like when TCU moved to the Big 12. Oh, they're not going to be good enough in the Big 12. A few years later, they were playing in the national title game. So, I think UCF has been, of the 4 teams that came into the Big 12, probably the least likely candidate to be, to emerge as, a powerhouse or a reasonable team, but actually they are pretty good. And I think, they're not an easy out for anyone. If Baylor shoots the way that they've been shooting, they're not going to win because their defense isn't good enough. So they're going to have to shoot a lot better than this. If they get into the tournament, they could be a Final Four team. They are that talented, but we just haven't seen it from them recently.
This is one of the big line moves here. Arkansas, this one, boy, both these teams struggling in conference. Missouri now laying 6 here at home to Arkansas team.
I think the difference between this, I like Arkansas here, and I think the difference is that Missouri is a team that doesn't have a lot of talent on the roster. They have a great coach in Gates, right? From Cleveland State 2 years ago, he came over. But they don't have the talent that they had last year, and I think that's something that, they're going to have to bring in over time. But there's no Michael Porter Jr. or something on this Missouri team, right? And then you look at this Arkansas team, and they're loaded. I mean, they're loaded. And the fact that they're playing so badly, they beat Duke at home earlier this season, so we know that they have it in there. I just think that for me, I don't think Missouri is a disappointing team. I think they're a par for the course. I think Arkansas has been a real disappointing team, and I think that they're just way more talented than Missouri. So getting all these points, you got to take them. I think they have a chance. I mean, if they come and win by 20, would you be surprised?
No, not at all.
They have that much talent.
They do. They got to put it together here. They're running out of time. St. Mary's here laying 14 at home to Santa Clara. Santa Clara is one of those tricky teams that can get you sometimes.
They will get you. They've had a first-round draft choice the last 2 years in the NBA draft. So they certainly have some good, some sneaky good talent that comes through there at Santa Clara. The thing is that St. Mary's had that big win over Pacific, and the public, they love to harp on things like that. They gave up only 28 points against Pacific, so it's like we'll squeeze a few covers out of it the other way. So it's Santa Clara for me in that one.
Yeah, I remember at Pacific, I think it was a KP power rank 300 in the 300s. And if you look at the teams that St. Mary's have beaten, they faced, I believe, that was 3 teams in the KP 300. They just literally pounded those teams. I mean, totally pounded them.
Yeah, that's
I remember that one because I've never laid 27 on a premium in my life until I did that one because I saw.
I understand, but St. Mary's, to me, if they don't win the West Coast Conference or win the West Coast Conference tournament, they should not be in the NCAA tournament. This is a team that out of conference, before the conference play started, they were terrible. They had their chances against the good teams, and they did not get it done. And I think that needs to be kept into consideration. When you look at all these wins that they're stringing together now, look at who it is. Yeah. Cleveland State, Middle Tennessee, Northern Kentucky, Missouri State, Kent State, San Diego, Loyola Marymount, Portland, Santa Clara, San Francisco, Pacific, and Loyola Marymount. They don't even have a win over Gonzaga in the conference, but when they played Boise, Utah, Xavier, San Diego State, all losses. So, to me, I don't understand how you build your tournament resume beating San Diego and Loyola Marymount and Missouri State, Northern Kentucky, Middle Tennessee. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because they certainly wouldn't give that to anybody else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They also say 279, they beat them 71-34. Portland 301, they beat them 95-52. Pacific 345, they beat them 76-28. These KP teams that are horrible, they pounded. And Santa Clara is far from that.
Plus.
Yeah, Santa Clara is 114. They're far from a bad team in that regard.
They beat Santa Clara the first time. This is the rematch.
Yeah.
So it's a rematch. Revenge now.
There you go. We got to round up some college hoops here on this nice card tonight. Mitch on record here, UAB +7 against North Texas tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and makes it over on ESPNU. All right, Mitch, let's take a look over where I let everybody know what's happening over at Pick Dogs Premium as we now move the calendar tomorrow into February.
Well, February, they extended an extra month. I always say February is the shortest month of the year because it brings you that much quicker to March Madness. But the thing is, this year, February does have an extra month. That means an extra day to bet games. The NCAA tournament also starts a little later than it normally does. Normally it starts around St. Patrick's Day on the 17th. This year, I believe it starts on the 20th or beyond, so an extra 3 days there as well. So more sports to bet on. Like I said, the NBA All-Star break is on the way, but that just means playoffs are closer around the corner as well there. And, of course, the NHL doing their All-Star break, our guys are hammering it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen, even through 1 month of the season, this many guys on the yearly leaderboard, this many guys on the monthly leaderboard. And it just, I mean, I'm a capper on the site too. And normally if I have a winning week, I can at least be in the middle of the pack as far as the leaders go. Not this year, These guys are cold-blooded, man. So I don't want to tell them to stop winning, but, show me some love. I'm going to start buying their picks.
Well, this is the best time now, Mitch, that you added the multi-capper promotion.
Well, the thing is like you see Joe Vaughn, like on a Sunday go, one Sunday he'll go like 4-6 or something, and then the next Saturday he'll be like 14-3, and same with Al McMorty does it to you too. It's like they all do it. It's like everyone on there. Dana's done it, it's like you've done it. Yeah. It's like I've done it, I did it to them, it's like, but it makes my game better. It makes me better, to see that this is what everybody else is doing. Maybe I should look at some things. And, to me, college hoops and, just a little bit on how I handicap games. You guys hear it in my videos. I really, really pay a lot of attention to the defense. I think anyone can shoot at the Division I level. So it's just I pay a lot of attention to the defense and the rebounding.
Absolutely. There you go from Mitch. All right, Mitch, it's always great having you here on the show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Same too. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for everyone for tuning in, and thanks for all of our cappers for making Pick Dogs what it is today. Absolutely. Mitch here on the drive. Let's continue here on the show. Time for Big Al McMorty. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Big Al McMorty been hitting the leaderboards as usual. Bring him in right now. Big Al, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing great. All right. We're going to get your game up here. We're going to have to move the chains here because we didn't move the chains on the last segment because we were just going back and forth with Mitch on the games. Your game's 11:30 tonight, and we'll be looking here at Belmont and Indiana State going head-to-head here in this one. I believe Indiana State. Let me go back here. Look, we looked at Indiana State here, favored in this one, if I'm not mistaken here. Favored on the road, 8.5 here, total 162.5. 7:30 start.
Yeah, did you say 11:30 tonight?
No, 7. I said no. It's 7:30 tonight. 7:30 Eastern.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean the Sycamores, they're 9-1 in Missouri Valley Conference play. They sit atop the conference standings. Belmont in the middle of the pack. They're sitting 6th with a 5-5 conference record. But Belmont's at home tonight, and they've won 52 of their last 57 home games. And now they're getting 8.5 from Indiana State. And I think Belmont's strong home court bodes well for it tonight, as NCAA teams that have won at least 35 of their previous 40 home games, they've cashed, 66.2% the last 34 seasons when they're getting more than 5 points at home in a conference game. So that bodes well for it. They also play with revenge, Tony, from a 94-64 loss in Terre Haute about 18 days ago. And Missouri Valley Conference home dogs, they've gone 75-54-3 ATS with playing with revenge from a loss earlier in the season by 18 or more points. And I do understand how good Indiana State is playing. I mean, they're 13-7 ATS this year. They've covered the spread by 5.97 points per game. But most of their damage has been at home where they've covered by an average of 12.31 points per game, which is ungodly. On the road, it's a much different story. Indiana State is 4-4 ATS. They've covered the spread on the road by 2.31 points per game, and that's good. That's nothing wrong with that. But that's not significantly better than Belmont's point spread differential at home, which is plus 1.06. And now I'm getting 8.5 points with Belmont. I'll take the points.
Yeah, you expect when you look at an 8.5 point home underdog in conference, you expect some crooked, ugly numbers. But, they're hitting at home in conference. They're hit almost 38% from three. They force turnovers on defense. They're doing great on the glass. They make 77% of their free throws at home. You don't usually see these numbers like this for an 8.5 point home dog.
No, which is a testament to how well Indiana State's playing in conference play. I mean, they're 9-1 in the MVC, but still 8.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, it is a lot of points. All right, Big Al here on the Belmont 8.5 here against Indiana State tonight, 7:30 Eastern time over on ESPN Plus. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action here, as we've got games on the board tonight here from NBA, 10-game card from the NBA, as well as lots of college hoops, 3 on the ice. Big Al doing great work at college hoops, 1,722 units of profit over at Pick.com. You can verify that simply by going to Big Al's handicapper page. Going down to Pick History, you can see all the great results from Big Al. We're highlighting these numbers. A great year for Big Al. Last 30 days also showing profit. Has been profitable in the NBA with over 1,650 units of profit. Great results there. Profitable here in NHL, profitable in NFL. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got 4 plays, Tony. I've got 1 in the NBA and a triple pack for people who want quality and quantity in college basketball. So 4 basketball plays and all strong plays. So folks can get on board, and they can also team me up with one of the other champion handicappers like yourself on the 2-for-1 handicapper special.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMurdy over at Pick Dog Premium. We told you the great results here. Over 1,700 units of profit in college hoops. 1,650 units of profit in NBA. No better time to get on board with a long-term pass. That 1-month pass will get you all Big Al's premium plays here from college hoops, NBA, NHL for the next 30 days, as well as that Super Bowl pick from Big Al. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Also great results in NHL, nearly 500 units of profit as well. With 22 releases this season from the NHL from Big Al.
Yeah,
more coming.
Easy. Yeah. I've 14-8 in hockey, just trying to pick my spots more this year in hockey rather than, I know like if someone wants, a ton of hockey selections, they can get it from Chris, but yeah, 14-8.
Yeah, 14-8 will give you the winners. And the ones complaining with the 63.5% hit rate there in the NHL. So get on board there with Big Al. Of course, Big Al, you got your all access, which is a great value for the big bettors out there.
Yeah, if someone can get down 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 a game, they can just text Big Al to 775-636-7676. With the all access, you get all of the premium plays, but you also get the ratings, and we rate them 10 down through 1. And we also have additional plays beyond what's on the premium side. And then you can ask me about any game of your liking on the card 24/7. So if you're a big player and this appeals to you, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676.
There you go. Make the text, make the call for within that bankroll. Get on board. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Sure, I'll talk to you on Thursday. Thanks, Tony. You
got it. Big Al McMurdy here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on. Guys, if you've ever missed a pick, we recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's bring in Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick.com. Do a bit of an NBA rundown with Wayne. We'll bring him in right now with NBA coverage on the show. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good out there today.
Things going great. All right, here we go tonight. NBA featuring here late night on ESPN. The Trailblazers will be hosting this Milwaukee Bucks team. We've seen the sharpest book in the world move this to 11 in this one right now. It's 10.5 in most places. We've seen the 11 pop up here right now. We see the total 237.
Yes, sir. And this Portland team is coming off a shocking win. I had them against Philly, but I had no idea they were going to pull the outright win. I definitely would have sprinkled something on the money line if I had that feeling. But I had a good feeling they can cover, man. I like the way they're playing. I like the way they're not only playing defensively, but they're starting to bring the offense. That they scored 140 points in that game. Milwaukee coming off a road loss to Denver. Both of these teams are coming off of 1 day's rest and equal rest. Milwaukee is 7-15-1, second worst in the league when playing somebody against the spread with equal rest. While Portland is 10-13. Portland's been playing very well at home, 7-3 in their last 10 at home, and they've been doing good as a road dog. Also, Portland plays good against Eastern Conference. They're 9-6 on the season, winning at 60% clip. And even the games they lose, they're by about 8 points, not 12. On the other side of that, Milwaukee, we know they struggle on the road. 2-8 in their last 10 on the road, and 0-5 in their last 5. That's against the spread. They just struggle on the road because they can't defend. And I don't see much changing. I know they got Doc Rivers, but it's going to take a while for Doc Rivers to implement those changes that we will need to see. And I love Portland in the spot. I just feel like they're getting way too many points here against a defensive team who's been playing good at home. Give me Portland in this one.
Portland here, 11 now, the sharpest book. 10.5 in most places, so you can grade down the 10.5 because there's only one book right now, and it cuts the late sharp money there on that Bucks side, and I don't agree with it at all. Actually, I do not. There is a book out there, FanDuel, that has 11, so you can do your shopping, find 11. So grade Wayne on the 11. We got a major sports book in the U.S. at 11, so you can grade him there at the 11 number, and I don't agree with that move. I have to look at Portland, only Portland, as you said. Wait until the Milwaukee shows that either they can find somehow, some way they can get younger, and we've said this. We saw this in the during that play-in tournament where Milwaukee really has trouble with these fast teams. They just look a step slow. We always like to talk about their age or one of the older teams there. Brook Lopez, Lillard, and of course they got players off the bench that are experienced. It just seems to me when they face some of these younger teams with speed, they almost like the Lakers where they have trouble keeping up with these young teams with younger legs and skill set.
Man, I totally agree with you, and it's definitely their bigs. Brook Lopez, he's just harder for him to keep up with these faster centers. And
looks like Joe Flacco.
Giannis at the power. No, definitely.
Statue.
Definitely. Giannis at the power forward, excellent defender, but even him, he gets that all-star mentality where some of these all-stars just don't like to play defense. They like to put it off on the other guys, and you get cooked like that when the rest of the team ain't defending. Another thing that sticks out to me is the Bucks live by the three a lot. They do score in the paint, but they're a good three-point shooting team, and Portland is number one in three-point defense. These guards defend the perimeter pretty well. Brogdon is doing a good job. Simeon is doing a good job. So a lot of things Portland and the Trailblazers wait for me, man. The line movement can be the line movement. I will take any extra points you want to give me with the Bucks. I already have them locked in at the 9-5. I mean, with Portland, I already have them locked in at 9-5, and I love them at 11.
Yep, it's 11 in a book in the U.S. book right now. So you better do your line shop and get the best numbers. It does make difference when you put a lot of volume of bets in. All right, let's do a rundown here with Wayne as we'll go over some of the games not covered here on the show. Actually, we have 2 games on the show, but we'll make sure every game is covered tonight here on the drive-thru. We got Wayne aboard. Bulls and Hornets going head-to-head. I know the Bulls broke a lot of hearts yesterday. Of course, Toronto got the money yesterday. The Bulls are facing a Hornets team that is just in the dumpster, man. It's just been ugly here. We've said this many times. Hornets laying 6 here. Bulls laying 6 on the road here, so total 214.
Yeah, as Tony said, man, the Hornets have entered the tankathon. They're trading away players. They got a lot of guys on this injury report. They're just very depleted. And one thing is to be depleted. Is another thing to come on the court and give a lack of effort. And that's just what I've seen out of these last few games. Until I see some fight out of them, it's hard for me to lay any points with the Hornets here. We got to take the Bulls. The Bulls, they've showed that they can get it done on the road as road favors. They're 4-2 as road favors, winning at 66% clip, and they've just owned the Hornets over the last 10 as well. I have no reason to look the Hornets' way right now. Give me the Bulls. I loved it at the number earlier, but even at this 6, I wouldn't mind taking the Bulls.
Yeah, all right, continue on the rundown here. Joined here by Wayne. We're going to be going on to the next one here, and that is the Pistons and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers team that can play defense. They're hosting the Cavs. This one now up to 13.5, total 231.5.
Yeah, is Cade Cunningham playing? Regardless, I like the Pistons, but I never did recheck to see
Yes,
if he was.
yes. Only
playing.
Stewart's out. Stewart's the only one out there.
Okay, yeah, I like the Pistons in the spot. Just too many points. Cavs have been rolling lately. I just think it slows down here. Pistons are a good rebounding team. That's one of the Cavaliers' strengths. But Pistons are not like bottom 20. They're almost mid-pack, 16th best in rebound. This Pistons team is a team that turns the ball over a lot, but so does the Cavs. The only strong advantage the Cavs have to me is defensively. Offensively, the Cavs have their struggles, and the Cavs have players entering. So they've been rolling, but they've been rolling without Garland and without Evan Mobley. With these guys getting inserted back into the lineup, I just don't see them covering this lineup. Until they do cover these big spreads with these guys in there, I gotta see it done, man. These guys gotta show me.
Yeah, big number there on this one. All right, Clippers and Wizards. This one's come down to 9.5. Paul George out here for the Clippers. We know Zubac's out. We know Diabate, the Frenchman, has been out for a while. Levers, Shamet out. But Washington's got their guys in the lineup tonight. They're getting 9.5 against the Clips.
Yeah, I still got to look the Clips away, man. Even without Paul George, Paul George has not been playing well lately. I caught that Cleveland game versus Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is going crazy. Clippers look good on the road, 6-4 in their last 10 ATS, while Wizards continue to 4 ATS. You would think they do good in the road dog spot, but they are 6-11 in the home. 11 as a home dog, only hitting 35% of the time, and they lose them games by about 12 points. So I can see why this line is like that. Clippers solid as road favorites. Clippers a better rebounding team, 10th in rebounding, while Washington is 30th in rebounding. Clippers don't turn the ball over at a high clip. Washington turns the ball over at above high clip, and Clippers cause turnovers. Clippers offensively efficiency 4th, defensive efficiency 10th. On the other side of that, Washington Wizards 25th in offensive efficiency, 27th in defensive efficiency. Both of these teams are about 50% when they're playing West Coast versus East Coast ATS. With all that being said, I'm going to lay with the Clippers here.
All right, there you go. Leaning with the Clippers. All right, continue on here. Kings and Heat. Boy, this Heat team has just looked horrible. I mean, and you can't blame it on the injuries. You cannot blame it on the injuries. I mean, they've been really one guy out. And they've had their lineup in here tonight. Rozier now moved into the starting rotation. Jaquez coming off the bench. We got the Kings here, the Dogs here. Heat laying 2. Total sits 227.5.
Yeah, man, and I like the Kings. I like the way they've been playing. I'm not going to try to hop on the Heat here. Only thing that scares me in this one is Kings have not won against the Heat at the Heat since 2018. Other than that, everything points to the Kings. Just recent play, total season play, how the Kings perform as road dogs, how the Kings are 8-6 against Eastern Conference, covering at 57%, while Miami is 5-9 versus Western Conference and only covering by 35%. Kings a better rebounding team. Kings less turnovers, better offensive efficiency, and defensive efficiency is give the edge to Miami, but the Kings are not that bad. They're 18th in defensive efficiency. They're a lot better than they were last year, and they are playing defense right now. Give me the Kings in that road dog spot in this one.
Yeah, road dog there with the Kings. All right, let's continue here on the rundown. NBA, every game on the board. Pelicans, Rockets, late news coming in. Zion now out. Zion out for New Orleans. Also Jones out for New Orleans. On the other side, Oladipo, and of course, someone they need for Houston has been injured quite a bit here. This Terry Easton, the rookie who gives them points off the bench. He's out for Houston. We see the Rockets laying 1.5 here, total 231.
Yeah, I seen a couple people. I don't know if the Rockets with this losing streak, if they're ready to give some of these guys out, but I've seen some trade rumors with Tyree Eason and a few of their role players, the Tate guy and Tyree Eason. So maybe they're just trying to upgrade, or maybe they are trying to get rid of some people. But yeah, with that being said, I like the Rockets here, man. I have no choice but to take the Rockets at home. Rockets have just been very solid at home. You're getting a short number on them, and I think they perform right here. I'm taking the Rockets.
Look at the Rockets here in this home spot here against the Pelicans. All right, continue on here on our rundown. Mavericks and Timberwolves. This game was a big line. You probably know why here. No Doncic, no Irving, no Lively. Jones and Ixom are doubtful here for Dallas. Pretty much Clark out. Minnesota with pretty much a healthy core here. Timberwolves, 13-point favorites. Look at the money lines here in this one. Total 221.
Yeah, man, and I'm on the Mavericks on this one. Timberwolves ain't going to get me here. They win, but they don't cover, man. When the Timberwolves just are not a huge cover team. That's just not what they are. They don't shoot the three well enough. They're just not an offensive team to cover. Yeah, they can lock in on defense, but I think the Mavs have enough here offensively to compete and stay within the number here. Minnesota just 13, 15, and 2 against Western Conference opponents, and when they win them games, they're only winning by 7. That the Mavs are depleted and benched a lot of guys, but this Minnesota team is still a high turnover team, and as I mentioned, they struggle offensively some nights, so just way too many points for me to look their way. I'll take the Mavericks 13, 14. Give me those.
Yeah, we've seen the Mavericks look horrible in some spots without Irving and Doncic in the lineup, so I think that what scared some people away. I remember one game where they just got absolutely destroyed on the court, but that was just a one-offer there. Continue on here on the rundown here with Wayne. It's time to take a look here at this Nuggets and Thunder game. This game is going to be, again, another one that's hit by injuries here. We see the Thunder favored 5.5, total 224.5. We know Strother and Conker has been out for a while, but Jokic out here for Denver. Williams and Isaiah Joe out for OKC. Thunder favored 5.5, total 224.5.
Yeah, man, all the numbers point to the Thunder. We know the Thunder play good at home and the Nuggets play bad on the road. The Jokic injury doesn't really concern me that much because they got Jordan coming off the bench. No, he's not the offensive presence as Jokic is, but he's still a good rebounder and he's still a good defensive presence. I think he actually bullies Chet Holmgren in this one. That Jalen Williams injury news is a little more important than people might realize. To me, he's their second best option. I'm riding with the Nuggets here, man. I think they get it done here, man. I just they haven't been road dogs much, but when they are road dogs, they're just 2-3 on the season, not horrible. I just like the Nuggets in this spot, man. Revenge spot, side of that revenge spot. I just think they come to and they come to play in this one. I think they can get this win. I do not like how the Thunder look lately. They just lost to the Pistons, and they're on a little downtrend right now. And I'm gonna ride the Nuggets right now.
I think Jokic was out against the Clippers, and I think it was DeAndre Jordan that had a big game, and DeAndre Jordan will be in this one tonight. Just a note here.
Right.
Nuggets 6-0 to the under against the division. OKC 8-4 to the under against the division in this divisional battle tonight. There we go with Wayne, and of course we've got coming up here Magic and Spurs going head down. The Magic now, people on them now. I think we're now into regular season. We only see Harris on the injury report. We talked about this on the weekend. When will this team start to gel with all these players playing together? They got some time together now. Magic laying 6, total 226.5.
Yeah, they disappoint me. They're still not winning, but at the same time, they make me smile because they almost always cover. So they need to. I don't know if they needed one more player, but they need to do a little more to get these wins. But we're not in it for wins all the time. We're in it for the cover. That's how we make money. And I think they cover here against the Spurs. They're strong road team, man. 15-10 on the road, 6-4 in their last 10. Not only that, better rebounding team. Both of these teams are about the same in turnovers. One's 23rd, and the Magic are 24th in turnover. But it's the Magic with the defense here. I think they just got the answers defensively for Wemby, and I think the Spurs do not have the answers to stop Franz, Paolo, and the gang of guys that the Magic can bring at you. I think the Magic pound them in the post like they do most teams. If the Magic can actually shoot, this game will be much easier than on paper. But it really depends. And Magic played well against Western Conference, 11-6, hitting that 64% clip, while the Spurs are just 10-10 against the East, hitting that 50%. So I'll take the Magic.
Yeah, just remember here that Wemby plays about 30 to 31 minutes. His backup Collins out and Keldon Johnson out here for San Antonio, so they'll be impacted with depth issues tonight here in this one against the Magic here tonight. In this one, Suns Nets will have coverage a little later, and of course Wayne here on Trailblazers. Plus the points, plus the 11 now against the Bucks. We will have coverage on Suns and Nets later in the show. That's an ABC game tonight. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, a 10-game card from the NBA. Lots of college hoops up there on the board, as well as action on the ice. Wayne showing great results in college basketball this season. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, man, huge card for me today. I'm actually going to have 6 NBA bets in today and 3 college basketball, so 9 plays altogether. I have a 5-pack in the NBA. I have a 3-pack with 2 of my college basketballs and 1 NBA, and I have my best bet in the NBA for you guys to get out there. Solid day yesterday, looking to have to continue on with the month, man. Just chip away at the books one day at a time. You can look at to get my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day, or you can pair me up with one of these excellent handicappers, and we can get money this week.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with it. Wayne Scott over at Pick Dog Premium. Great results this year in college hoops, coming off a monster past 24 hours. Remember the long-term pass, 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all Wayne's premium plays for that time you select. When you go to his handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Let everybody know we always provide here over at Pick Dogs your video series and boxing.
Yes, sir. I just seen that Fury and Usyk, they promoted the main card today, and it was pretty exciting. Definitely look forward to breaking that down for you. And like I said, there's plenty of matches that are getting cooked up right now. We're just waiting for the signatures and the promoters to agree on the location and how all that stuff works. As soon as these guys drop them, I'm going to drop these videos for you guys, so stay tuned and look forward to those.
Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, hit those notifications so when Wayne drops those videos, you get them in real time. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again here on tomorrow's show.
I appreciate you for having me as always, Tony T. Good luck with all your bets out there, Pick Dog family. Let's get it.
You got it. Wayne Scott here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the show. We always recap the plays if you miss any pick on the show at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. Time for Rod Zawacki. He's been very good to us here on the Drive-Thru. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch his video series here with the NHL A to Z coverage. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Just getting ready, excited for today's action. Checking out some of this college hoops action early.
Yeah.
Ooh, Alabama behind the 8 ball early. Watch out, here comes Georgia.
Yep, that's the Georgia off to a fast start. UNC Greensboro up by 19, hitting the halftime against the VMI in a 6 Eastern start. We go to the ice tonight as we're getting closer here at the All-Star break, but we still got games to take care of here. Red Wings here laying $1.13 at home against the Senators. We see a high total here of 7.
Yeah, big high total here of 7, which, I'm guessing because we've seen some earlier meetings this season that ended up like 5-4. But in those ones, we've seen Reimer in goal in those earlier meetings, head-to-head between these two teams. So total, I'm kind of leaning a little to the under in that one. A little too high there. But jumping into this one, you look, Red Wings playing the better hockey right now. 7-2-1 their last 10, and this Ottawa team. Sure, you got a nice win last time against Nashville, only because Nashville's offense is slumping. They mustered up 17 shots on goal. Jumped up to a 3-0 lead, and then barely made that game go to overtime. It should have been not even close to overtime in that one, the way Ottawa poured it on in that one. But Ottawa on the road is just a scary proposition for me. 6-13 on the road, not where I want to be putting my money. Detroit at home this season, 14-8, and you may look head-to-head. 2-1 is the season series between these two this season. And Ottawa with the lead in those, and as I said, Reimer was the starting goalie in both of those. Guess who Ottawa hasn't seen this season? Well, that's Alex Leon, and Alex Leon in net has been lights out, and he's the reason why Detroit has started to win and turning this season around. His last 2 games, wins. He stopped 58 out of 60 shots in those games. Just playing the best hockey of his career, I would say, this season for Detroit. And that's the reason why Detroit has been getting wins. I think they get another win here. Detroit, 4th offensively in the NHL, scoring goals. And who's going to be in goal? Well, we got an old Jonas Korpisalo for the Senators. Should be getting a start here in this one. He's been awful this season. He's got over 3 goals against average, an .888 save percentage. he hasn't been good this season. He's not the goalie that the Ottawa Senators traded for, and it's tough on them, but it is what it is. I like Detroit here by a bunch. You can just lay the money line if you like, but I'm going to sprinkle a little on the puck line. I think they easily win this one. Take the reverse puck line, minus the 1.5. You get over 2 times your money on that one.
There you go. Of course, then when you have a high total there of 7, you expect goals. That's a good sign there to get that puck line. We heard Leon a lot last year, right? They had a little bit of push there last year in last year's series. And one thing with this Ottawa team, they have had struggles defensively on the road, giving up nearly 4 goals a game and giving up 33 shots a game on the road.
Boatloads, right?
Yeah.
Just boatloads of shots, boatloads of goals, and this Red Wings team, as I said, 4th in the NHL at offense, at scoring goals, average 3.5 goals a game. 3.55 goals a game has been this Detroit team. It's going to be a tough night for Jonas Corposalo. He has been playing a little bit better recently over his last few, but the start of his season has been ugly. It's a tough spot coming into Detroit where they're starting to score. Considering, as you said, that total of 7, here's your little bonuses. Let's get these bonuses going. I'm going to get 2 goal scorers for you guys tonight, and both on the Detroit Red Wings. I like Dylan Larkin to get an anytime goal, and I also like Alex DeBrincat to get an anytime goal. Both of those, nice plus money, and both of those guys are on the power play. I think Ottawa takes some really bad penalties at times and gets themselves behind the 8 ball. And this Detroit Red Wings team, that power play is starting to roll. Just think what it would have been like if Halton could hurt. This Red Wings team, that power play is starting to click too. So I like them on the power play. Their top 2 guys in the power play are Larkin and DeBrincat. So get those 2 guys to get an anytime goal, especially with the thing of 7. I got this like 5-2.
Nice. There you go. Rod with his play here. Red Wings puck, like goal and a half plus 205 against Senators tonight, 7 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, we have action tonight here on the NHL. Also, 10-game card from the NBA. Loads of coverage tonight here from College Hoops. Rod has been on fire last 30 days, 1,136 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. You can verify those numbers simply by going to Rod's handicapper page. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
And over at Pick Dodge Premium tonight, I've got a 3-pack at the College Hoops. 1 and 2 yesterday, so looking for a bounce back day there. I've got my top play in the NBA, and I also got my top play in the NHL. You can scoop up all 5 of those over at pickdogs.com, or grab something long term, grab a week pass, grab a month. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Also, don't miss out on that 2-for-1 handicapper deal. As you see, as Mitch has said, look at that handicap leaderboard over to start the year. I'm not the only one to start of the year. Red hot, shot out of the cannon. Pick a couple here out of the top 5 top handicappers there, and we've all been making money. You look at the top 10, and I think it's almost all over 1,000 units to kickstart the year. We've been bashing the books over here at Big Dog. So jump aboard as we continue to bash the books.
That's right, guys. Get on board long-term with Rod. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. It'll save you 15% off when you sign up to Rod's long-term pass or that 2-for-1. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday. But let everybody know your video series, you cover hockey A to Z coverage there with every game on the board as well as the parlay.
Yeah, definitely A to Z coverage over there with the hockey videos, so definitely go check those out. And I got a 2-team parlay for you over there today as well. That's archived. We got a little break before the All-Star game, but we'll be back beginning of next week with hockey going strong. And I'm sure I'll find the video to get up there for you guys on the All-Star game. Little bets that I'm going to make. I'm doing a little study and working on it this week, and we'll get to find some nice bets to make on that All-Star game going forward. So definitely make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified when that video drops, and you can get the best of the numbers at the All-Star break with us.
Yep, absolutely. Rod's also taking a peek at the PWHL. Not promising anything this season, maybe just gathering information, but keeping an eye on that as well. All right, Rod, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
Definitely have yourself a good one, everybody. Good luck with your bets. Smash those books.
That's right.
Catch everybody on Steak Friday.
Catch on Steak Friday. Rod Zawacki here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Let's bring in, speaking of someone who's been on fire, has been Dana Lane. Boy, what a great video series he has up here at Pick Dogs. Getting great accolades on that. Also, the performance has been outstanding. You'll see him on the leaderboards. Dana Lane, catch him over at Pick Dogs. Let's bring Dana in right now. More coverage here on that NHL card. Dana, what's happening?
I wish I had time for the PWHL. I wish I had time to handicap and get my spreadsheets all set up for that. But I think it's great. I really hope it becomes something big, and it's nice.
I think it is.
I hope these ladies have somewhere to go after they play in the Olympics. I think it's fantastic.
I enjoy it more than WNBA because look at the fan reaction, and you see, I've been watching some of the games on YouTube, and the fan reaction in tennis has been pretty impressive.
Well, as long as when we get a chance to really bet on it, then we'll jump right in on that. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, any leagues are great, and I'm excited about the USFL XFL merger coming up.
That's right.
That's going to be pretty interesting too.
Yep, that'll be interesting tonight. Of course, we got action tonight on the ice. These are two teams that had some struggles here. It's not the 14s and 15s anymore where we've seen these teams grinding wins. It's been struggling here. Ducks and Sharks going head to head. Ducks big favorites here, $1.84, total of 6.
No, but John Gibson still wants to be there. Apparently, I don't know. if I was John Gibson, it must. Believe me, not to go off on a tangent, but a lot of these decisions about where they play it starts with the family, and John Gibson's family likes it in Southern California, and I don't know, he's a quality goaltender that really could help somebody else, and just has no desire to go anywhere else. But anyway, I'm gonna really focus on totals as we go into the later part of the season. I think I've been burned too much. I don't like to use that terminology, but these 40s and 50s, these teams that should be much better than the opposition, but it's back to managing that bankroll. So I'm really going to focus on NHL totals in the second half, and you might have to lay some juice here with the under. There is some $1.10s out there, but hey, look, the Ducks, we know, Tony, have been rusty all season. We know we can't lean on them for offense. They've been out 4 days now, so I don't exactly know what we're going to get from them. But, their last game out against Minnesota, I thought Lucas Dostal was pretty good. I mean, he had 37 saves in the game. From an offensive standpoint, we know both of these teams defensively are horrific, but I don't think either of these teams has what it takes to take advantage of bad goaltending or bad defensive teams. And Anaheim couldn't generate a lot of offense even in that win. They had 12 shots over the last 40 minutes, even though the score was in their favor. I'm just not interested in getting behind a total that I have an offense that can generate 12 shots over 40 minutes. There's been 6 overs in the Ducks' last 9 games, but it certainly has nothing to do with them. And I think John Gibson in this situation, Tony, I think this is a situation where he could shine. He's not going to face 40 shots tonight, or even probably in that 30 to 33 range. I think he's up for the task. So if San Jose can, or if Anaheim can keep their number down, I think this goes under the total. But it's really close.
All right, Dana here, Sharks, Ducks, under 6. We'll talk more about this in a minute. We're hitting the witching hour, Dana. Let everybody know what you have going over at Pick.com. Look at the numbers the last 30 days. 1,582 units of profit. Dana's been on absolute terror right now. Take a look at those NFL numbers. Look at the numbers across the board from the major sports. He's been on fire. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so sad that the Super Bowl is so far away, but that last football game, I'm glad I'm ramping up in the NBA because I gotta pass that baton over to another sport. But right now we have 2 college basketball games up there now. We still have that NBA 3-pack that's going to go off in 5 minutes. You can get all 3 of my top NBA plays for $49.99. And, of course, Tony, we tout this every week about that long-term pass, that week pass, that monthly pass, the annual pass. That is the key to your success. That is the key to sitting back and riding with a handicapper, or pick a couple handicappers, but just stick with a handicapper. I can't emphasize that enough. But, yeah, lots going on headed up to the Super Bowl.
That's right, guys. Get aboard with Dana Lane over at Pick.com. You see the numbers here showing great profit for the last 30 days, for the year, last 7 days. Yes, past 24 hours, nearly 400 units of profit. Dana's been on a tear in the NBA as well, guys. Get on board. That 1 month pass will get you all of Dana's premium plays here for 30 days. Includes all his NBA, college hoops, his NHL there, the Super Bowl. That 1 month pass, perfect time to get it right now with all these sports overlapping. Great value. Top performer here at Pick Dogs. Get signed up. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off with Dana Lane. All right, Dana, back to this game here. When I look at San Jose, I look at a team that really lacks speed. And, boy, they're really having trouble putting goals in the net. Just 2 goals a game on the road.
Yeah, and what's even worse about it, you have, Tomas Hurdles out of the lineup, and you take a guy out of the lineup with 15 goals for a team that averages 2 a game. It's hard to figure out where the scoring is going to come from, and even for Anaheim, I mean, they're dealing with the injury to Alex Killorn, and I look at both of these rosters now. Believe me, we've all been burned by this, but I look at both of these rosters and I just say, hey, look, the only way that I'm going to lose this play tonight, or at least push, this seems like a push number to me. I'm hoping to get that 5. It seems like a 3-2 game to me, but you never know what happens at the end with that empty netter. But to me, I think John Gibson's going to shine tonight. And Kokkinen's been okay. He was okay in his last start, but I just don't think we have two teams that can take advantage of the other shortcoming. I wish we could get a 6.5. I would lay some juice on the under, but 6 it is, I guess. I wish we could get involved in that 7 that we see elsewhere.
Yeah, I saw a 6.5 with juice somewhere, and that is in one of the U.S. sports books. A couple of them have that. If you can get their points bet,
there you go.
There are a few of them out there having juice. So just hold on. We got a while. We got another 3.5 hours before puck drop in this one. I don't think it's going to 6.5, 5.5. If anything, it may be going over.
No, for sure not.
Yeah, but we're seeing some juice on the over here on some of the books right now. We're seeing some juice on the over. So maybe just take your time, see if the 6.5, and then grab the 6.5 there from Dana. All right, Dana. Of course, out there in Vegas, everybody getting excited here about the Super Bowl coming up here in about a week and a half.
Can't wait. I mean, it is. You're starting to feel it. I was on the Strip a couple nights ago, and you can already see the signage going up. And of course, this town's been in preparation for this for a very long time, and it's so interesting. The people that have followed me for a while know I've been in Las Vegas for 31 years, and to tell me that if you told me 10 years ago that the Super Bowl was going to be here, let alone the Raiders, I would have said no. The NFL, to me, if they did that, would be too hypocritical, because for years, all of a sudden, we were the city they couldn't stand to put a team in, or the thought of that was, just couldn't think of that. But you and I both know, Tony, that gambling went on everywhere in every corner of every city in America, and to sit there and make Las Vegas a scapegoat, I think this weekend really makes everybody in those claims look like fools, to be honest with you, because we're going to run a first-class game, and the festivities start next week. The opening ceremonies for for the Super Bowl, I think, are on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
media day.
That'll be fun. The media is very not happy because they, it's just crazy to me. I mean, people that say, "Hey, look, we don't want to be put up in the Luxor," and now they're going to go over to the Excalibur because there's an overflow in media. And I'm like, guys, I mean, you're going to this game for free, and I understand that you're covering it, but at the same time, you're going to a Super Bowl for free. And I don't know if you know this, but tickets are going for like $6,000. You're going for free, but in that world, Tony, in the media market world, if you put everybody up at Bellagio, then they would complain they were too far away from the Legion Stadium.
Oh, they complain about paying for the water. They would find something, right? I would find something.
Yeah.
All right, you got the play here from Dana. You know where to find him here with the premiums. All right, Dana, let everybody know about your video series, of course, against the public.
Yeah, against the public every day. We try to put it up as consistently as possible, sometimes numbers. Send that video in. We get it up as soon as possible. And, of course, we try to look for spots where we can go against the public. And 9 times out of 10, when you go against the public, you're getting a good number. So that helps us with the selections. But really, it's kind of fun, and it's a little bit different of a way of looking at things. But the more you look at it, and the more you try to go against the public. I knew this was always the moniker, I guess. Always go against the public. Well, you know what? As time goes by, the public has more information, and they become sharper, and it is dead even down the middle. So you have to be, as a handicapper, even sharper to look for those specific spots.
Absolutely. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, so when Dana drops those videos, you get them right away, get the best numbers. All right, Dana, it's always great having your show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony, have a great week. Thanks for having me.
You as well. Dana Lane here on the drive. Let's continue here. We'll get to the recap, then get to my game. My game's at 8:30 ABC game from the NBA, so we'll get to the recap tonight. And then, of course, we'll be looking for your best bets in the chat for tonight as we hit the recap segment here of our show. And we'll get the recap for you right now. We start off with Chris. Predators plus 102 against the Kings. Mitch was on UAB plus the 7 against North Texas. Big on McMorty. Belmont plus 8.5 against Indiana State. Wayne is on the Trailblazers plus 10.5 plus 11 now against the Bucks. Rod was on the Red Wings. Lay the puck in half plus 205 against Senators. Dana here, Sharks, Ducks under 6. I'll be on the Nets plus 3.5 against the Suns. I like that Wayne's pick here tonight on that Blazers here plus 11 against the Bucks. And of course, let's get back to my game here. As we told you, we'd be looking at Suns and the Brooklyn Nets tonight in this one. And we'll be on, as we said, we'll be on the Brooklyn here plus 3.5. Grayson Allen's still questionable here for Phoenix. We know no Bull's questionable, no Lee. Finney Smith, Sharp, Simmons out here for the Nets. Like the Nets here at home here. Dinwiddie, Thomas, Bridges, Johnson, Claxton, they've been home for a little bit here now. It's been a long road trip here for this Phoenix Suns. Maybe we'll see that road fatigue hit in this one tonight. But when we take a look at Phoenix on the road, they're allowing 113 points per 100 possessions, a plus 2.5 net rating. Brooklyn at home is averaging nearly 117 points per 100 possessions, a plus 4 net rating. We haven't seen Brooklyn at home for a while. And they're holding teams to under 46% shooting at home. We'll take the plus 3.5 here on this ABC game here with Brooklyn. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through, guys. Be sure to bring in your best bets. We'll announce them for you here on the show. I got a 3-pack right now over at Pick.com with my best bet bundled into it. So go ahead and get signed up. Of course, you can get on board with my long-term pass. I have a 3, 7, or 3rd day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period to select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions up there as well. Remember that 1-month pass is a great value right now with all these sports overlapping. So get signed up. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the drive-thru, guys. Make sure you get your best bets in the chat. We'll go over them here at the end of the segment. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow here on the drive-thru live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll go out their place for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show here live during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You got Mitch. You got Chris, you got Jay, of course, you got Mitch's 7 picks in 7 picks in 5 minutes. His betting tools show, his roundtable discussions with the professionals. Of course, we got Chris who goes around the league from the NHL. Jay with his NBA Jam session. Ron Zawacki covers the NHL A to Z, every game on the board with a pick and a parlay as well. Nick Mencken, first half NBA. We also have Ron Romanelli, bank shot breakdown from college basketball, his video series there. Also, the prop shop and UFC rundown from Mills. The parlay videos here coming in from our man Brad Francis. Of course, the contrarian picks here from our man Brian Biller. Of course, Costi with his sharp trading plays. Big Al McMorty with his all access. Dana Lane against the public betting there with Dana Lane. Boxing video series coming in from our man Wayne Scott. So lots of content here, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Of course, all access with Big Al McMorty. Big Al's been on fire, guys. So no better time to get on board with them right now on the channel. All right, let's take a look at the chat with your best bets coming in tonight. Ramon says he likes the Nets tonight here at plus 2.5. I'm in doubles. Says likes Milwaukee Portland over 237.5. Tonight, and let's see who else do we have tonight with their best bets coming in. We didn't see one from Blake. Oh yeah, Blake likes the Predators here. Predators money line against those struggling Kings. Can't complain as all. Hoops likes the Thunder tonight coming in as well, and also he's liking the Blazers as well. Our man J-Man 45 liking to lay that points with the Clippers. O'Kara likes Detroit Cleveland over tonight. Prop of the night from Nick Beats Vegas. Jalen Duran double minus 125 at FanDuel. He got this early last night, and now with Jarrett Allen sick, questionable, he likes this even more. Duran's been on fire here. Duran has been on fire right now here for Detroit Pistons. Our man Nick Beats Vegas coming in with his prop tonight. What else have we got here? Let's take a look here tonight. Here, let's see here. Underrated Trey likes South Florida and UNC Asheville tonight. Matthew likes Miami and Sacramento. Well, not sure there yet on the pick. Still a lot of folks asking questionables here. J-Man's not a fan of Army tonight. And let's see here what else we've got here coming in here. What do we have? Mr. Ain't It Man. Bulls, Cavs, Clippers, OKC plus 275. Looks like he's moneyline parlaying those together. Tonight from Mr. Ain't It Man. Tonight with a moneyline parlay here on the show. Bulls moneyline with Hellboy coming in tonight. Hellboy with the Bulls moneyline. And that will do it for the show. I'd like to thank everybody's contributions as well. All the cappers making a great show today. All right, that's going to do it for our show. Let's bring in our cappers from tonight. Big goodbye to guys. You guys have a great afternoon.